Yeah. Yeah. My come and never sleep on me. Eyes on my chain, 숙여 너의 고개를 what you looking at fool. 너의 눈 허리 멍청했고 find your comfort from another yeah. I go low like undercover yeah. Wanna know my name 죽지 않은 일은 위에 부어버려 기름 yes. You can't even guess me cause I'm baby high low 확실해 not like maybe yeah. Baby let me welcome to my palace 찾지 않아 Alice you just keep on wonder You just keep on wonder 찾지 않아 Alice 버려 너의 memory I just pop a bin Danny have been 나는 걸어 Boeing 747 날개 we get ready Like I wanna get late 준비해 빨리 we ain't got a lot of time man wavy night Jameson hit the rock bottom 잃어버린 정신머리들 yeah got 'em yeah shot 'em 모든 problems 언제까지 기다려야 할래 now gone yeah
Alright, I'm going to give this another shot here out on my lunch break. I've probably got about, I don't know, 30-ish minutes to play with it. So let's get into it. I got my power probe. I'm going to hook the battery back up and going to attempt to see if I can figure out what is where my disconnect is on the purple wire. I think it is my signal wire to the starter. See if I can get it cranking again. The ignition, you can see I still have the dash pad off. Hadn't laid that over yet. I'm gonna get it cranking first, but let's see why I don't have signal to the starter anymore. I did briefly and now I don't. So I'm gonna see if I can figure that out here in this next 30 minutes. I'll let you know what I find here shortly. All right, so I got part of it figured out. First part is it's still really hot. Second part is I found it's just the neutral safety switch in the effect that it's just the shifter and the trans linkage and all that not being adjusted yet, so it wasn't in park. Or me take that back, the transmission was in park, but the shift or the neutral safety switch wasn't in park to send a signal through to the starter. So I've got that resolved as far as, well, now I know why the signal wire is not getting signal when I turn the key. So I'll have to come back and address that. I have run out of time on my lunch break here. Yeah, I will have to get it back in the air. Hopefully here before too long I'll have some rack time back and I can get it back in the air, get that adjusted, get the rest of my bottom side situated, get the rest of the under hood situated. It looks like a giant mess right now, which that sucks. But we do have new parts still yet to put on. I do have a radiator, which it's let's see, where do I got it at? I think I have it under here so it's not getting smashed. I say that. Oh, it's under here. Yep, I do have a new radiator to put in it, and a few pieces left still to get put back on. But like I said, at least I now know where my problem is, or where my problem for this part anyhow is. We'll get back to it soon enough and get it back to cranking on its own power, and then maybe we can start working on getting it to start. We'll see what happens from there. All right, so we put a battery charger on the El Camino, and I'm not sure that it really works, but since Today we found that the only issue with the starter not starting was the fact that it didn't know it was in park. We're gonna see if we can get it to crank over now using the key, and which will be great. Then we can start to check for fuel, spark, and all the other great stuff that goes along with making a motor run. So let's see if it'll crank on its own power. Well, I guess it helps if you actually hook up all the wires here. Let's actually put some power to the ignition. Should be that one. Let's try again. Well, as you can tell, it's still dead. Exciting. Maybe I should get a new battery charger. You piece of junk. Let's see if cables on the kids' truck will give it enough cranking amps to turn over. We'll find out. Well, I guess that battery is just too toast. We'll leave this truck running on it for a little bit here and see if it does anything. We'll check back in a few minutes maybe. Come to the conclusion that this battery is just too bad, even though it's new, and probably too small. We'll return it. Alright, so it's take 936 on getting this to crank with the key. I went ahead and got a bigger battery, one that has a few more cranking amps than the last one. I think the last one had only 640 maybe. That seems kind of low for a big block Chevy. This one I believe has 8. And don't bust my chops, guys. I know this says Motorcraft. It's the only one they had readily available. Yeah, there it is. That says 800 cold cranking amps down there. So let's hit the key and see what happens here. Did you hear that? It turned over on its own.